Hello and welcome to my tutorial of unraveling and analyzing the genius of Cole Porter's I've Got You Under My Skin. One of the best songs ever written for so many reasons. You songwriters should take note and learn from the best. Although you should be aware that harmonic, melodic, and lyrically well-crafted music is not easy to market in today's social climate. I'll also try to keep to a minimum the use of technical terms so that anyone who has an interest in music structure will be able to benefit from this tutorial. So let's get started. The first verse consists of 16 bars made up of four 4-bar motifs. Okay, here we go. What is a motif? Well, basically a motif is a statement. Very much like the bird in the tree. Not a complete sentence. But if I were to add to that motif and say the bird in the tree, which was blue in color, chirped continuously for an hour and a half, there are your four motifs which do form a complete sentence. The first motif. Second motif, same as the first, with the exception of one note that's lower right here. The third motif, walks it down. And the last motif, now this song has been done in many different keys depending on the range of the singer. I did that in E flat. I believe Sinatra did it in D flat. I'm going to drop it into C for two reasons. C uses basically white notes, which will be a little easier for most of you to follow. But more importantly, it's low enough that me as a non-singer might be able to hit some of the higher notes, but there are no guarantees. Let's look at the lyrics, and the lyrics are tied to the hip of the melody. It's a marriage made in heaven. You won't find a better example of lyrics working with the melody as well as it does in this piece. So it starts off with, I got you under my skin. And the lyrics in the second motif are very keen because they use two words. First word is deep, which is a foreshadowing of a lower note to come, and that lower note is a key word, heart. It goes, I got you deep in the heart of me. And as it moves forward, the word deep is used again for the descending melodic line. So deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. And then finishing up with the title, I got you under my skin. Now the second verse is not the same as the first verse. The first and the last motif are the same, but the two middle ones are different. So let's listen how the lyrics affect that. I tried so not to give in. The next line, the composer is starting to have his doubts if this whole affair is going to go very well at all. So he reflects that by diminishing the intervals. He tightens the top, he drops it down from the top and brings it up from the bottom. So he tightens it, creating tension, which goes with the spirit of the lyrics when he says, I said to myself this affair never would go so well. And then he opens it up and actually for 4 bars dips into another key altogether. But why should I try to resist when baby I know so well? And then he returns back to the original key in the last motif, I got you under my skin. So he's gone the distance from the starting note to the last note, the distance of 9 scale tones from the A to the G. The song itself has a range of an octave and a half. It goes up to the supertonic, the D, which those parameters are quite acceptable for the majority of singers. The harmony is actually quite simplistic. Let's give it a listen. Same chord progression as Heart and Soul, except unlike Heart and Soul, it does not start on the tonic chord, the C chord, nor does it start on the A minor chord, the 6th chord. It actually starts on the 2 chord, the subdominant, to the dominant, to the tonic, to the 6th chord. And the next motif is 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, so on and so forth. A publisher's delight for sure, because with those easy playing chords they can do a piano for beginners and make a little more money by writing something like However, the notes that Porter chooses on the strong beats lend itself to making a half-decent arrangement. Because the second verse is a little different in the middle section, obviously the harmony has to reflect that. So it starts off the same way. Now he looks for help out of the parallel minor, C minor, and uses the 4 chord from it, the F minor, to the dominant, but he's still got that A flat, which produces a flat 9, more dissonance, more tightness. And instead of going to where most composers would have taken it to, an extension of the 1 chord, no way, no, he goes to a non-chordal tone. In this case he uses a diminished chord because he knows that a diminished chord is the only chord that can resolve onto itself. So we call that a 1 alt chord to the 1 chord. So it's just an alt. Some arrangers may dip down a half tone and just do a parallel major, a B major chord. Room for an echo here, so I could do the diminish up here. The next motif takes us literally outside of the key, actually towards the key of A. Not enough to change the key signature, mind you, but he does this. And the continuity is there, as he did it before, or the parallel major just below it. Adding the 7 creates the tritone, which nicely pushes us straight back into the key that we originally were in, key of C, onto the 2 chord. And back home again. Now let's take a look at the bridge, sometimes referred to as the release. In other words, contrasting material from the first 2 verses that we heard. At this point, Mr. Porter introduces a new rhythmic pattern consisting of quarter note triplets. It creates this relentless throb, and he takes full advantage of that throbbing feeling in his lyrics. Let's give it a listen. I'd sacrifice anything, come what may, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Here he's got those quarter note triplets, one after the other. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, repeats and repeats in my ear. Then he moves on to what we believe is the climax, the highest note in the song, but he fools us when he goes, don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each we're heading to the climax, and I wish I picked a lower key. But each time I do, just the thought, there it is, the climax, thought of you makes me stop. More often than not, the music stops at that time. Not on all arrangements, but on many of them. Before I begin, 'cause I got you under my skin. Absolute genius. Thank you, Cole Porter. The harmony in the last half of the song is very much the same as the harmony we heard in the first two verses. Now there is alternative harmony for the last part of the song, and to be quite honest, I don't know which one out of many that was the actual original from Cole Porter. There's so many different charts out there, so I'm going to do one alternative harmony, and again I'm going to try to keep away from many of the technical things of what I'm doing musically. Mind you, I should point out that if there is any term that you have heard and you'd like an explanation, please go to my homepage, click on tutorials. There are a number of tutorials there that will give you a full explanation of any term that I used in this presentation. I will, however, for the music students, continue in the caption part to put in the chord numbers so that you'll know what I'm doing harmonically. Well, that's about it for now. I hope in some way I've shed a little light, opened the door crack into the structure of a well-crafted song. Cole Porter certainly stands out in the crowd. Perhaps you might become a little more critical in your listening of music. After all, there's more to music than the danceable beat of a drum machine. Bye for now.